Hey guys, welcome back to another stream, another video. I'm joined by the one and only Younes. He is a fan favorite here on this channel. Everybody is always asking me, every time I have you on, Younes, everybody's asking me, when are you having Younes back on your channel? Because you're just so popular, and honestly, we just get on so well. So I'm super, super happy to have you here ahead of this game because I am a basket of nerves right now. I'm not gonna lie. So how are you doing? How are you feeling?
No, thank you. Thank you for having me on again. It's good to be back. Thank you to everyone that's been asking. I'm well. I hope all of you are good too. But yeah, I'm nervous. This is the game we've been waiting for, especially since Tuchel's come in. This is the one where we've looked at and go, okay, this is the big one. We have to perform. We can't get destroyed. And there's a good chance we might lose. We can't guarantee. So yeah, I'm nervous. This is a lot. This is a lot today.
I know. I tweeted earlier that I dropped a glass of water. The glass went everywhere.
Did you?
Yeah. I don't know if I was just really tired or because of this, but my heart rate is through the roof. So how are you feeling about the game? Do you think that, we know that Atletico have quite a couple of injuries. Jimenez is out. Trippier is suspended as well. I think Carrasco is out as well.
Yeah.
There might be a couple of others as well. And obviously Chelsea have Thiago Silva out. So do you think that the injuries could play a part to it? Maybe Chelsea have a little bit of a strength going into the match just because Atletico have so many players out?
Yeah, well, I think there's an advantage. I mean, firstly, in terms of the nerves, do consider getting yourself bottles. You can't spill those, no,
but find a way, I'm sure.
Because if not, I'd be like you. I'd be like, oh my god. No, I think we do have an advantage. I do think the injuries help. We have less than them, as you said. We've only got Thiago Silva out, and it seems like even when Christensen's been playing, we've been well. We've been okay. Whereas with Atletico, the fact that they have, Jimenez out, Carrasco's out, and there's about, I think, 4 players in total that are missing. That's substantial. That's a lot. Imagine if we had 4 players out, we would be, we'd be even more nervous than we are now. So the fact it's not even being played in Madrid, that's another advantage. We have to consider our luck that we're at a neutral venue first. We're in the same circumstance as them. And on the back of that, Atletico have just lost to Levante at home, so I'm hoping that gives our boys some confidence that they are beatable. If as long as we play to a game plan and we play well and we're clinical, we can beat them. We shouldn't go into this, too nervous, going like, oh, there's a good chance we might not win. No, we need to go into this, or the boys need to go into this going, no, we're going to win tonight. Yeah. Because if we get 1 goal, that changes everything. That brings everything in our favor. So, yeah, I think we have an advantage, and it's a good advantage, to be honest. If you had said this would be the circumstance before anything would have happened, I would have taken it. So, yeah.
So I spoke to Jenny yesterday, and she was basically saying that since they lost against Levante in La Liga at the weekend, that maybe they might come out with a vengeance, being like, oh, we want to redeem ourselves for that loss, and that it actually might give them like some extra fire in their bellies, so to speak, to come against Chelsea. So what do you think about that? Do you agree with her?
It can do, but at the same time, we could look at ourselves and think the same. We just drew 1-1 at Southampton and we didn't play well. So we've got a point to prove. This is, we have to look at it. And yes, Atletico are, for me, one of the strongest teams in Europe. And yes, they might be coming out to prove a point, but we do have the quality to win this match. If this was last season, I'd be like, oh my God, okay. Like we played against Bayern Munich, and we knew deep down, even though we didn't want to admit it, we knew we didn't stand a chance. That was the truth. We had new players from the academy, a transfer ban, Lampard's first season as a manager. Like we were just, this isn't going to happen. But now, no, we can win this. So, yeah, Atletico, huh?
I love your optimism. You're calming me down. Like my heart rate on my watch is just like slowly going down.
No, like we got to be realistic. Like we might lose tonight. That's just that could happen. There's a good chance that could happen. But Like I said, last season it was different. This season we do have the team to win this game tonight. So yeah, bring it on. We're going into this anyway, so we might as well give it our all. And that's just the truth. And if we get that one goal, as I'm saying, we score once, ball is in our court. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah. How important do you think that away goal is? Because we know that if it's tied, then it goes on through away goals. So do you think it's more important to get that away goal, or to maybe play more defensively and make sure that we don't concede like 2 or 3 goals?
No, we need the away goal tonight. We need it, because if, say, we go into this 0-0 and then we go into the second leg at home, that's not a good situation, because if Atletico score once at Stamford Bridge, we're in trouble. We need to score twice.
Exactly.
So no, we and look, they have the quality. They've got Suarez, they've got all of that. So we can't be playing those games. We have to be clinical. We haven't been clinical recently, and that's the one. If we are clinical tonight, we take our chances. We score once. I am confident for the tie, not just for this leg, for the whole tie. So we need to score tonight. We have to.
Interesting. And very interesting that you say that, because we have a question from Ravi, and he says, where's Chelsea's goal threat going to come from tonight? And this is something that I want to ask you about, because throughout the past, you mentioned that Chelsea haven't been that clinical in past games, and I totally agree. And I wonder where the goal threat is going to come from, because it seems that Chelsea have been scoring penalties in the past couple of games. We've been lucky and winning penalties. But other than that, goals from open play have been far and few between. We don't have our attackers really in great form. Timo is getting there, but I still wouldn't feel completely confident saying, oh yes, he could definitely be a game changer today. Pulisic hasn't been playing well. Ziyech hasn't been playing. Havertz hasn't been playing. Mount is capable of a couple. So where do you think the goals are going to come from? Do you have any ideas?
It's difficult, because, as you said, all of those players you've just mentioned should be the guys that are going to bring the goals, but right now, it's a little bit of a situation. I think everyone needs to take a look at themselves individually. I think like a Timo Werner, for example, needs to go into this tonight thinking, I'm going to score, and just have that confidence and just go into it. Even if it means taking a few risks, you have to go for it, and hopefully you will. I think if a Giroud is playing, for example, that's a good element to have. But at the same time, if and this is a big if Pulisic and Havertz are available and they're match fit, they're ready to go, I think they could be the key, especially Pulisic, because I know you like to hear that.
I do. Can you see like the?
Yeah, suited and booted. Because that one threat we lacked against Southampton, I don't want to compare Atletico with Southampton, but I think Atletico are going to be a team that are going to, I don't want to say sit back, but we know they're defensively minded. And despite them being really strong up top, they are defensively minded. So to penetrate through that, I think you need that creativity. You need that someone that can drive the ball and dribble. Yeah. Pulisic on his day is that guy, but he needs to be on his day. That's the thing. So if he's starting from the bench, then we're going to have to look to Kovacic, Mason Mount, Timo Werner, Callum Hudson-Odoi. I think those are going to be the guys that all need to combine and try and just throw men forward and hopefully exploit some space. But aside from that, the lads need to shoot. That's the one thing. They need to start shooting. Even if they're on the edge of the box, just start hitting the ball. Just start shooting, because we're not doing that enough.
No, we're not. And that's something that's frustrating. It feels that they're just too nervous or scared to take risks and to take a shot and have it overturned to the opponent. And it's like, no, just take a shot, because maybe it's going to go in. Maybe it will get deflected weirdly off of a player and you can get that second ball. So it's something that's really important to do, and that Chelsea really haven't been doing that much. They've just been trying to like pass the ball into the back of the net, which is, it's just not plausible, I feel, going forward, that you're not going to just be able to do that. So yeah, I'm feeling nervous. We have a lot of comments about who's going to be starting and a lot of things. So you think that we're going to stick with this information that we've been seeing recently?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. We need to go with something that we know. We can't go blind against Atletico. Like, we just
Yeah.
can't. So, unless if Tuchel's been doing some magic on the training ground and getting the lads to do something that we don't know yet, that's a possibility. But I don't think so. I think we'll go with a, I reckon a 3-4-1-2 if I'm having to predict. But as long as we're playing with it in a back three, I think that's what we're going to go with, because we know it. We've been winning games with it, and I think it gives us the best opportunity.
Yeah, so going through, I know it's like so difficult to predict the starting 11 just because with Thomas Tuchel, it could literally be anything. But I do want to get your thoughts on a couple of players because we have seen a lot of rotation in this team. So do you think that Mendy starts tonight?
Oh yeah. Mendy, definitely. He's the number one goalkeeper, and in a Champions League tie, he's going to be in goal. I'm sure. I'll be shocked if he's not.
I thought so too, but I was shocked to see Kepa against Newcastle. So I was like, anything is possible at this rate. And after Callum got subbed and then subbed off, that was a major talking point after the Southampton game. But I spoke about this with Jenny, and she said that Tuchel handled it really well and just said he wasn't performing as he wanted him to, and that hopefully he will train better and improve on that. And now he knows that that's something that he needs to work on. So do you see him starting in this game at right wing back?
Yeah, I think so. Or at least if it's Reece James at right wing back, then I think Hudson-Odoi will be one of the front men, so one of the 10s. But yeah, for me, that whole situation was a non-story.
Yeah,
it can happen. It can happen, and anyone that's been involved in just watching football should understand that, let alone playing football. It's a possibility for you to come on as a sub and then be brought off. It happens. It's rare, but it happens. And if the manager thinks that's the right thing to do, and luckily we didn't lose, then cool. But now it's up to Callum to really recover mentally and to understand what that was about and to not take it personally. And I think that could work in his favor if he really understands that and he's mature about it. That could be a learning curve for him, and that could really try and push him or elevate him even more. So fingers crossed that's how he takes it. But yeah, I think he'll start tonight. And when people see the lineup, I think that's when everyone will just put that story to bed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Really well said. And I think that it could, like you said, almost be an advantage for Callum because he's going to be like, I really need to work my butt off today in this game. I really want to impress. I want to take all of the instructions so that this doesn't happen again. And not only for Callum, but all the other players, they should be cognizant. Like, if I'm not performing well, I will get subbed off. Tammy as well, he got subbed off at halftime. I think that's the second time that it's happened. And so, these players need to know that if they're not performing, they're going to get subbed off. Tuchel isn't afraid to make changes. And I really like that about him, that he identifies what's going wrong in the game and just changes it immediately. He doesn't wait for it to try to turn around 15, 20, 30 minutes into the second half. He sees what's going wrong and tries to address it as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I agree. Even if he is on the bench tonight, which is a possibility, if Tuchel wants to go with experience, even so, I think Hudson-Odoi will start. But if he doesn't, if he comes off the bench, I hope he's level-headed enough to understand the situation. But I think that bounce back could really work in our favor, and especially in a game like this, where if Hudson-Odoi is looking at himself and going, "I need to perform," and it's tonight against Atletico, if he does perform, that's going to be beautiful.
Yeah. I really hope that I really hope that he does. Imagine he gets a goal or something. I would freak out.
Oh, that would be amazing.
So looking at those center backs, I was actually surprised to see Azpilicueta starting at versus Southampton because I thought that he would be rested for the Atletico game. But I think it's probably going to be Azpilicueta, Christensen, and Rudiger since Thiago Silva still isn't out, which is a massive blow for us. So you think that that's going to be the center back trio, so to speak, and how much of an impact do you think that Thiago Silva missing this game is going to have?
Yeah, I would love to have Thiago Silva, especially in this game. At European level, he gets it. He really understands. The experience is there. He can coordinate the entire back line. But in his absence, Christensen's done well. I can't fault him for anything. So I'm hoping he doesn't, pull off one of the blunders that we've seen him in past years. Like, you just know it comes out of nowhere and it costs the team. I hope that's not going to happen. But yeah, I think Aspi, Rudiger, Christensen in the middle will be the three. We got a lot of experience in Azpilicueta. I think he's going to be key tonight. And especially as a centre back in a 3 where he doesn't really have to go far forward. That's going to suit him really well. Rudiger, I'm hoping, has a really good game. So yeah, without Thiago Silva, it has to be those 3.
Yeah, I totally agree. And moving on to this left back position, it's or left wing back rather. It's really interesting because, again, I thought that Chilwell was going to play versus Southampton so that Alonso would play against Atletico, because we know that he just has like a crazy golazo in him. But I'm a little bit worried about Alonso going against the likes of Luis Suarez and Joao Felix as well. So who do you start in that left wing back position?
If we're playing in a back 3, it's a left wing back position, I'm starting Alonso. I think it's best because we have to realize if we are lacking up top and we don't have players that are shooting enough or players that are just not being clinical enough, Alonso provides us with that offensive threat. And he has the ability to get into the box, take a shot. We know what he's like in terms of scoring. If we're talking defensively, yes, Chilwell would be the better option. But I think with a back 3, and again, hopefully with a fast-paced right wing back, if it's Hudson-Odoi or if it's Reece James, I'm hoping we'll have enough defensive cover. So if we go to a back 4, I'd go with Chilwell. But if it's a back 3, I'd go with Alonso. Just so then we have more option, because as I've said, we have to score. We can't just be sitting back and just waiting, because if not, I think Atletico will punish us. So I'd go with Alonso. Just if it's a back 3, Alonso.
Yeah, I don't think that we're going to change the formation. Like you said, it's like if they're used to playing in a certain formation, I don't think we're going to see a sudden change just for this game. Maybe in game we might see some change just if it's not going our way. But I get a little bit nervous with Alonso defensively. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. But I think in this case, if you're going for that attacking threat, then you would play Alonso over Ben Chilwell. But I feel for Ben Chilwell because he was brought into Chelsea. I think he was trying to level up and play Champions League consistently, which he wasn't playing at Leicester. He spent 50 million on him, and now he's not playing. So I feel for Ben Chilwell, and I don't. Oh, I'm so thirsty.
Your water.
I just water after I spilled all of it. So I don't know. I think you're right that we'll probably see Marcos Alonso, but I hope that he has like some crazy golazo he's capable of, especially being Spanish and like playing against Atletico Madrid. I don't know, but
yeah, I mean. Even against Atletico, because I think they're going to be a team that's, if we're playing a really attacking-minded team, then, Alonso, probably not the best. Because you're going to have a lot of defending to do. I don't think we're going to have a lot of defending to do tonight. I think we're going to be the attacking side. I think we're going to be the team with the ball. We're going to be the team that's trying to get through. We're going to be the ones going up against you could say, a low block, or at least a block just sitting deep. But when they come on the counter or they come on the attack, we know they have the potential to cause damage. So I'm just hoping Alonso will be cautious enough. I'm hoping he'll be, back in time when he needs to be. But I think you're going to see him up the pitch a lot. So, yeah.
Yeah, and he works really well to try to create that overlap that we've been seeing with Timo Werner, and he puts an extra body into the box so that the defenders have somebody else to worry about, so that it's usually a 2-on-1 situation and that they don't really know who to mark, if it's Mason Mount, if it's Timo Werner. Oh my God. Yeah. Let's get water. my voice is going. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a long day. So looking into the middle of the pitch, N'Golo Kante played for Southampton. I thought he had a pretty good game off the ball. Good. On the ball, I wasn't as convinced, personally. I didn't think that he picked out that many. I felt like he was losing the ball when he was trying to pass it forward, but then he would get it back and win possession. But I didn't think that he was necessarily picking out, like, attacking wise. I felt like it was breaking down a little bit. What do you think?
I think with Kante against Southampton, for us, I think he was one of the most effective men on the pitch. I do believe not just necessarily him, but anyone that's trying to pass to our forward men. Yeah, we didn't really do much in terms of trying to pick out any runners, or we just roamed. We just roamed and again tried to pass it in really short passes, trying to get into the box and really work it all in. Again, not enough shooting, not enough intensity and trying to drive with the ball. There was none of it. So I do think Kante done a lot of really good work in terms of bringing back the ball and recovering. That was immense, because I think nearly every single chance he had to win the ball back, he did. So that was good. But I think everyone else around just wasn't as effective. Even Kovacic, he didn't have a great game, not like previous, which is why I think tonight, I think there's a case for Jorginho and Kovacic to be playing alongside each other again. Despite Kante having that good game, and yes, he provides that security, it's a tough one. For Tuchel, it's a tough one, because I don't think it's necessarily to do with Kante. It's more to do with what we get from Jorginho and Kovacic. I just think they have that balance. So tonight it's going to be interesting to see who he picks.
I would be nervous to have. I don't know. Like I think that the pivot has been playing very well of Jorginho Kovacic, but there are limitations to it, and I think that you can probably mark Jorginho out of the game effectively, that we've seen this happen. And then if they counter us, then he's usually not the fastest, might have to make a tactical foul. And so I'm worried about it, because I feel like it could go either way, honestly. And I'm not completely sold on the Kovacic Jorginho pivot. Like, I think it's been looking good, but I also thought that in the past, and then it didn't look good. So I really don't know what that midfield answer is.
Yeah.
But against Atletico, I feel like you might have to play N'Golo Kante. I don't know, to win you those balls back, and to try to progress the ball and break up the danger that Atletico pose. And I don't see Kovacic or Jorginho doing that necessarily as effectively as N'Golo Kante, because they're just such different players. What do you think?
That's the thing. There's pros and cons. Because if you're looking for someone that's going to win the ball back effectively, then yeah, Kante, easy. A game that springs to mind is against Spurs, where we had Jorginho Kovacic, and they were both man-marked, and they still managed to bypass that. Whether that was us going around Kovacic and Jorginho, who are man-marked, or those two finding the space in between them and combining to get past not just two, but sometimes three Tottenham players. They were doing that very effectively. Now, I'm not saying Atletico are the same level as Spurs. I think that,
Be careful.
and Spurs have been exposed recently. They've been all over the place defensively, so it's hard to judge if we read too much into that, or if that's a good reflection as to what Jorginho and Kovacic can actually do. On the con side, you look at it and you think, against Atletico, yes, if we do lose the ball, we could be in trouble. But with Kante, do we have the midfield that's able to notice and ping those passes, or combine with fluidity and with pace? We need a midfield that's going to be passing the ball very quickly. Are we going to get that with Kante? It's very hard. It's very hard. It's honestly, when it comes to that, not just Tuchel, but any manager, even with Lampard, you have to feel for the decisions that they have to make, because that's not easy. But yeah, I hope whoever's selected does a job.
Yep. Yeah. That's why it's so hard to predict. And I'm really glad that I'm not in that position to make that choice, honestly.
I mean, they get paid a lot for it, so I would.
True.
But it's difficult. It's difficult.
That's true. But I won't really be surprised, I think, with whoever we see in there. But it's definitely going to be interesting. Yeah. And in that 10 role, It's an interesting shout. I personally think that Mason Mount has to play, but a lot of people are saying perhaps we could see Kai Havertz in there. We have a comment from Ben. He says, this will be a time for Timo, Kai, and Hakim. Madrid will play the style they're used to, a little bit slower, less physical. Do you think that there's an opportunity to see the likes of a Kai Havertz or a Christian Pulisic or a Hakim Ziyech, who haven't been starting but maybe have Champions League experience, start in this game over Mason Mount, or probably not?
Not over Mason, no. But I do think if we're playing, it's difficult. If we're playing with one striker, and that's, I think, going to be Timo, then we could have someone alongside Mason Mount, whether it's Kai Havertz or Pulisic or Ziyech. I personally don't think it's going to be Ziyech, mainly because, you know, he got brought on in our last game. We didn't really see much. So I don't know, for Tuchel, maybe that's an indication of not to start him. But maybe for him to come on. If Kai Havertz is fit enough, he hasn't been playing. So again, likewise with Pulisic. Personally, I'd play Pulisic if he's at his best, but it's hard to say if he's at his best. He hasn't been playing. So yeah, we could end up going with Mason Mount and two strikers, possibly Timo alongside Giroud. That could be a possibility. But yeah, at the moment, Mason Mount is playing as our best 10.
Yes.
So for me, he starts.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
And so you think we're going to see like Pulisic and Timo, or Timo and Giroud? Maybe Giroud has that experience. I don't think Giroud's been playing exceptionally well. He did get a goal recently, but before that, he wasn't really playing great, in my opinion. Pulisic hasn't been playing great either, but maybe Champions League night could up the ante for him. I don't know. What are you thinking?
Again, I think it's just, it depends. It totally depends. It's the case of, I think, liberating some space for Timo Werner, which is what the second striker does. And some people have, including quite a few other of the lads that have done their videos, have mentioned, and not just now, but even before, that Kai Havertz could be the guy to combine up top with Timo Werner. As you could say, as like a false, well, not a false nine, but someone that's going to be like the second striker to a Timo Werner. That's a possibility. I can see that. But again, he hasn't been playing. So I don't know. It just depends how they've been training, how intense they've been, how fit are they. We don't know. Only Tuchel knows that. So there's many combinations we could go with. Many.
Yeah, it's going to be so. I'm going to be just like sitting on my phone, refreshing the Chelsea page every 2 seconds, waiting for the starting lineup to come out, because we have 2 hours, 2 more hours to kill.
2 hours to go. Yeah.
God, this day has just gone by like so slowly for me. I don't know about you, but for me, it's just been like so bored, like just dragging on because I'm just waiting for the game.
Well, I mean, 3 hours to go till kickoff. So it'll go quick. It'll go quick. When it gets to the last hour, that's when it will begin to really get nervy.
Yeah, I always everybody makes fun of me because I'm always so nervous ahead of the game. So we have a question from Harrison. He says, Pulisic should be starting because he's capable of creating space by dragging defenders out of position. What do you think?
Again, yeah, if he's at the top of his game, absolutely. And, you know, we've seen him many times where he has such an impact. It just depends if he's at that level and if he's, you know, back to his best. Because if he is, I'd start him instantly. But again, it's only something that Tuchel will know. We have no indication because these lads haven't been playing. So it's really hard to say. This is their first game back and they're in the squad. Don't know.
I know. How do you think that like Chelsea are going to play? You think that we'll have like, I don't know. I feel you mentioned that Chelsea might have more of the ball, but I could see it being really like a 50-50 game. I just don't know.
It depends because you have to remember Atletico have injuries. They're not going to be playing their first choice 11 as a complete 11. So, you know, there's that. There's the way that Diego Simeone likes to set up his teams. We know how robust and concrete his teams can be. But recently, they haven't looked fantastic. They've been open. So, yeah, and that's with the players that are missing. You know, so it's going to be interesting. I do think that overall, especially the first leg, they are going to rely on that counter attack. I think we will see more of the ball. I don't think it's going to be a complete dominant performance by Chelsea, no. But I do think we will have more possession than them. We just need to be cautious and realize that the moments when they try to catch us out on a break.
Yeah, and we need to be really clinical, like you said, that Chelsea haven't been being clinical. I don't know if it's necessarily something that they'll be able to fix from Southampton to Atletico, because it has been a problem that's been persistent throughout Lampard's time in charge as well. But I really hope that we can take advantage of this. I had a question in my head that I was going to ask you, and I started talking and I totally forgot what it was. Oh, okay, I remembered.
Lovely.
So I'm sure you've seen that Chelsea haven't gotten through Champions League knockout stage since 2014, since the round of 16. So what do you think about that? You think that this is the year that we can do it finally?
I've said this from the moment we drew Atletico. If we knock Atletico out, I believe we can win the Champions League. Like, yes.
What?
If we, I know some people are going to think I'm nuts. If we knock Atletico out and we qualify to the quarterfinals, I think we can win the whole thing.
How? Okay, elaborate, please.
Again, because I think Atletico are one of the strongest teams. I think the only other teams that pose a threat equal to Atletico are Bayern Munich and you could say PSG. And I think one of them will fall along the way somewhere. Bayern Munich are going to be the team. Like, Bayern Munich are Bayern Munich. Even PSG are looking really good. The way they decimated Barcelona. But you never know. You never know. And when you think of 2012 and you go back to we weren't meant to win it that year. We just were not. It shouldn't have happened. But it was destined. It was just everything went in our favor. And to beat Atletico, who right now, again, looking like the best team in La Liga, one of the best teams in Europe. They've been playing amazing, only up until very recently. I think, we knock them out. We have a big chance. So
that's interesting. That is an interesting shot. I was very nervous when I saw that we drew Atletico because I thought it was literally the most difficult team that we could have drawn, having come in first in the group. It was almost a disadvantage for us coming in first in our group. For some reason, I feel like Chelsea always have really difficult fixtures. But I don't know. I just feel like we still have, I don't want to sound like a downer at all, but I feel like we just still have a young team that's still getting to know each other. They're still learning how to play together. And I feel that there's this lack of a killer instinct that I haven't seen in Chelsea. And I feel like you need to have that killer instinct in order to win games, that even if you play badly, in order to win trophies as well and to compete with big teams. And I think perhaps next year, once Chelsea have a proper preseason under Tuchel as well, they can start filling in some of the gaps that they have this year. Perhaps it could be more realistic, but I don't know. This year, I'm just hoping to get past the round of 16.
Well, exactly. And this is why all those points you just mentioned are exactly why people don't think we're going to get through. And why people are thinking, you know what, this is going to be too much to ask. Yes, we might come close, but Atletico will knock us out. But it's because of the points you've mentioned. That's why I'm saying if it happens and we get past Atletico, at that point, anything's possible. Anything's possible. But you're right. We need to have a killer instinct. And I truly think 50% of sorting that problem out is just telling the lads to start taking shots. Because we don't do it enough. Start taking opportunities. Start hitting the ball, because you never know where it's going to go.
Everybody's like, yes, Younes, you're totally right.
Oh, imagine. This is going to look bad. If we get destroyed, this is going to look horrific.
We're going to get destroyed like 3-0. This is going to get clipped up so hard all over the timeline. That's so funny. Oh, my God.
But yeah, as Tyrone just put, I did say that in a video of mine recently, where because Timo had a busted lip, he got hit in the face, and then all of a sudden he looked like the striker we wanted to buy. I said, from now on, before a game, just give him a right hook to the face, make sure he's got a black eye, and send him onto the pitch. Because then he's getting hat tricks. So fingers crossed.
That's so funny. Oh, somebody goes 2012, 2021 game.
There we are, who was it? I think it was Dubois on Twitter. And Lad Bible, I think, managed to get all of his tweets because he made a thread of all the circumstances that are related to 2012 this year. And there's a lot of things that happened back then that have happened this year. It's the correlation's been crazy. So don't be surprised, I guess, if we somehow go on to win it. Hey.
We'll be asking you for the lottery numbers, honestly.
I'd be playing first.
Oh man, it's really split in the comments. I just think it's so funny, but it's going to be a really big game. I'm nervous but excited. My heart's going to be just like through the roof. Probably my Apple Watch is going to think I'm exercising because just so nervous. Guys, if you have any more last minute questions for us, let me know in the comment section so that I can get to them, because I think that we've answered the majority of them. But if there's anything else that you guys are curious about, let us know.
Yeah, exactly.
I freaking love this comment.
That's the one. Yeah, I saw that and thought, I hope she highlights this because it's spot on. It's spot on. Yeah,
I loved it. Do you watch The Office at all? The American version, obviously.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. No, the American version is really, really good. I love it.
Okay, I'm glad that you said that we can stay friends. It's
I like both, but the American version is really good. It's very popular here. You'll be surprised. Very popular.
Yeah, it's my favorite TV show of all time. I have so much Office merch. Honestly,
really?
I watched it 10 times. I watch it at least once a year. I think I've watched it over 10 times, probably more, honestly. Maybe up to 12 now, or something like that. So this comment really made my day. Thank you so much. I just going through. I saw somebody asked, are we allowed to ask non-football questions? Go for it. I mean, I'll prioritize the non-football ones, whatever I see. But yeah, just feel free and we can try to get to them. Robin asks, what do you expect of Tuchel next season?
I want to say a title challenge. We have to. I mean, look, we've come to a realization that now we are a club that wants silverware, and if we don't put ourselves in the position of it, we're sacking the manager. That's just the way we function. I think we agree. So next season, trophies, please.
I hope so. I think we could be in the running because Liverpool seems to have kind of they're on the decline a little bit. Man City are still really good, but it's completely open.
We'll see Liverpool in 30 years again. Basically, the next time they win a title is in 30 years' time. So.
Oh man!
No, they've declined. Yeah, everyone's declined except for Man City. You could say Man City.
Yeah, they're just ridiculous.
They've won the title.
Yeah. It's a shame that we couldn't get it together for this year because it's so open, and City had a really bad start to the season as well. So if we could have just had everything mesh a year earlier, would have been amazing. Amada asks Hakim Ziyech to start as he is very Champions League experience. And this was something that I thought about because he is one of the more experienced players, but Tuchel hasn't been relying on him. But he does have a lot of Champions League experience. And we know that he went to, I think, the finals with Ajax, or semifinals, was it, in the Champions League? Semifinals. Yeah. A couple of years ago. So you think that we could see Tuchel relying on him for his experience? He could bring something different in breaking down that Atletico side, because we've seen that we have trouble breaking down teams, and Hakim could put a couple of good balls in. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Hakim Ziyech's problem has only been, I think, his adaptability to the Premier League. So if you're playing in the Champions League, I think he'll have more influence. Especially against teams that don't rely so much on physicality. I think that suits Ziyech perfectly, again, which is why I think he done so well at Ajax. I do think I don't necessarily believe he'll start. I think he'll definitely come on. Remember, there are 5 subs to make. So I think we're going to see Ziyech come on. I think we'll see Pulisic come on. 5 subs, yeah.
How did I not know this? I'm such a fan.
Yeah, so we're spoiled for choice in terms of what we want to do. We are spoiled.
Okay, so that really changes things. I didn't realize that they were still making 5 subs like this far in the competition. Interesting. So we could see Hakim come on maybe even at halftime or something like that to change the game. Maybe he doesn't start, but he comes on and hopefully get some. It would be really nice to see him get a goal contribution after having struggled. But like you said, it could be, since we're playing a side in La Liga that it's not typically known as being such a physical league like the Premier League. It could be a really great opportunity for Hakim to shine. So that's a really interesting shot. I like that. Ali asked Younes, who do you think gets up first? We have to test your ability to see the future.
No, don't, because when I make the predictor, obviously on the Chelsea app, I go on the predictor. Like my last game against Southampton, I got 4 points.
Includes paid promotion.
I literally not. I always do. I always do terrible on the predictor. There's no way I get it right. So I can't say. I really can't say. I don't even know what the lineup's going to be. So it depends on that first. It depends on that. However, if I'm having to guess, just off the cuff, I think we could end up, if we're playing with 2 strikers up top, we could see one of the strikers coming off to bring on a Ziyech or a Havertz or someone. So that's all. I can't really guess anymore. I don't know.
It depends. We don't know who's going to play well and who's not.
We don't know.
Like every game, it's just totally up in the air. I hope you guys can't hear that. There's like a car honking. I always have issues with cars like on the street that we live on. It's just like a common occurrence. I'm just trying to see if there's anything more. We have another one about Pulisic. We kind of spoke on him. I don't think he's going to start, but Moaz, you put in like 5 times, so I had to talk on it.
Yeah, I don't think he'll start. I would, but I don't think he'll start.
Yeah, with the 5 subs, that totally changes it for me, honestly.
Yeah.
So, all right. I think that we're still getting so many comments. I literally can't keep track with them. It's just like continuously going so hard. I'm having trouble keeping up with everything. But Younes, finally, a score prediction. What are you thinking for this game?
I'm going 1-1.
Okay, that's what
I'm like getting that away goal, not losing. Perfect. Take it to Stamford Bridge at that point. So, yeah. If we get anything more than that,
imagine
that I'd start crying. But no, again, even if we lose, as long as we get that away goal, it's game on.
Yeah. I think that is really, really important to get that away goal. And I hope, like you said, that we just don't necessarily get, I don't want to say humiliated, but I don't want to concede a lot of goals because it's just going to make the game that much harder for us as well. And there's just like such a crap feeling knowing, like, after the Bayern Munich game, it's like, well, why are we even playing the second leg, or 3 down, So a lot of people are say 7-5 to Chelsea, 31 to Chelsea. That face.
We're not playing hockey. Like,
oh my god, I'm dying. So 13-0, Cho scoring them all. Okay, you guys. I see you're taking,
he gets picked forever. That's it. He starts every game.
I see you're taking the score predictions very seriously now. Today says Levante could do it, so why can't Chelsea? Very true. Very true.
Yeah, why not? Why not? What have Levante got that we don't?
Oh man. Yeah, 30-0. Okay, now we're just playing like American football at this point. 1-0 Younes to score. I actually had a dream that I scored 11 goals in a Champions League final.
Did you? Imagine that. It's funny because I remember having a dream where we beat Liverpool 2-0 in an FA Cup final and I scored the winner. I did have that dream.
That's more realistic, at least.
So, like, but that was it. No Champions League glory for me.
But it is not realistic at all. I have like really random Chelsea dreams about meeting Aspilicueta or Pulisic or playing at Stamford Bridge, like really random shit. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. Honestly, 350 of you on here right now, which is literally insane. So thank you so much. Honestly, I can't believe it. All credit to Younes. Oh, this way, honestly, because you're just such a pleasure to have. I always have so much fun with you. We laugh a lot and really appreciate you coming on here. So thank you so much. And guys, if you like this video, please drop it a like because it helps me out so much. Subscribe to my channel. That helps loads, as you know. And I promise I'll have Younes on a lot more if that's what you want to see. So Younes, let everybody know where they can find you.
No, definitely. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I enjoy coming on here as well. You've got good comments and it's really cool. So honestly, thank you for having me. We'll definitely do it again really soon. But as the screen says, if you don't know where to find me, then that way. There we are. Younes Talks Football. You can find me there. But yeah, we'll definitely do this again really soon.
Cool. So guys, hope that you enjoyed the game. Hopefully we have some good news tonight. Otherwise, I'm going to be in a bad mood for the rest of the week. My niece and nephew are Atlético de Madrid fans, and they've been like already talking shit the entire day. So I seek them this weekend, so I need to be able to banter. I need to.
Are you watching with them?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
That would be really intense. If we could have gone to the match, since it would be really close to where we live, actually, I would have gone with them. And I don't know how that would have worked out, me being in a section full of Atletico fans. I might have just myself in the away
you'd have to point to like the Chelsea fans on the other side and go like, hey, yes, we've done it.
But like, imagine, imagine if I'm in that family. I went to a game and they're really intense. So I couldn't imagine just being like a Chelsea fan. Oh yeah. I actually went to the last game before lockdown 1 year ago at the Wanda.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah, very lucky. And and Diego Costa got subbed on, and I was just like, Diego, and it was quiet. So it was just so embarrassing, honestly. And all of the fans were looking at me like, what the is this girl on, you know?
If only they knew.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, sorry. But yeah, it's going to be a really interesting match. I'm going to be a bucket of nerves. So guys, comment. I'll need something to do. So comment your thoughts as well so that I can reply to them and just take up my time because I'm so nervous about this game. But thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the game. Hope we have a good result. I'm a nervous Rex and I keep chatting, so I'm just going to end the video now. Until next time, I'm out.